Today we're going to be making a protection voodoo doll. This voodoo doll is not meant to send any negativity or any evil spells to anyone at all. This is for protection of oneself. So this one is going to be made for me, okay? So usually the way I normally do it is I buy a pre-made voodoo doll because I don't want to be poked by the needle. And this one's already made. Save me time. So the way I usually do it is I combine herbs, the target herbs, so this one's going to be for protection, and oil, and I put them together, and I do use the Santa Muerte powder that I made, and I put them inside the doll, okay? Then I put the doll with Santa Muerte. She gets to hold it, okay, because she's going to protect me. But this time, I am going to do it with wax. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. The only thing is that I am going to mold the doll with wax. Okay, there's another way that I'm going to learn to do, which I have not done, is using a combination of the doll and wax. So you mold the wax and then you put the wax mold into here, and then you use your herbs and your oils to power the doll. Okay, so we're going to manifest protection here, and we're going to do it with the wax and the herbs and everything else, okay, without the cloth doll. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to use 1 cup of beeswax, and I am going to put it inside this Pyrex cup. And the reason why I'm using the Pyrex cup is because I am going to use it as a makeshift double boiler. Okay, I'm going to go to my kitchen and I am going to put this inside of a pot that already has water. And I'm going to slowly let it heat up and melt, okay? Then I will be back once it's melted to start combining the herbs and the oil, okay? And the powder, of course. So I put the wax inside of this pot that has water in it already, and I put it on medium-low, and then now we're just going to keep an eye on it. I don't want to walk away from it because I don't want it to scorch. I don't want it boiling or whatever. I just want it to where it melts. So want to move it around. After a while, this Pyrex cup is going to get hot, so you're not going to be able to handle it with your hands. You're going to have to get a towel in order to handle it. So I have one here already for when I do need to do that, but we shall see. So now that the wax is starting to melt, I turned the heat down to low because I don't need it to be that high. Now I just need it to maintain the heat, and it's starting to melt. Let me see, now I can't really touch it and show, but you can see that it's starting to liquefy. And just keep moving it around carefully. You don't want anything splashing back. And another thing that I'm doing is I grabbed this pie pan and I sprayed it with olive oil, lightly sprayed it, because I am going to pour that beeswax onto here. It's going to be easier to manipulate the wax in the tray versus the cup. So it can go everywhere it wants to, because as it starts drying, you can start manipulating and doing whatever you have to do to form the figure. So I did that, and I know that's a non-stick tray, but I just want to make sure it doesn't stick. I don't like finding out too late I should have done something, and it's not like it's going to hurt it. It's olive oil. So, extra virgin olive oil, okay? So it's starting to liquefy, and it's almost done melting everything. I'm gonna try to see if I can scrape the sides of this with the hot wax. Okay. Whew, hot. So I'm putting like hot wax on top of the other wax because the other one's already dried, and it's helping to loosen it up and drop it back into the cup. So it's hot. I know I should be using the thing, but I'm trying to suck it up a little bit. So don't do what I do. Ooh. All right, so it's almost melted. It's almost done. Let me see if I can manipulate the glass. So as you can see, it's melting really well. It's liquefying very well. So it's almost done. I want it completely melted. It's almost complete. So now that it's almost done, there's no point in leaving the fire on because it's going to continue melting and finish with the heat that's already generated in here. So it's done melting. It's already liquefied. You can see that. Okay. So now I am going to carefully pour it over here. And I want it to dry however it wants to. Let it go wherever it wants. It doesn't matter. You're going to scrape it up. And the reason why I'm putting it on here and letting it go at once, because it will harden and cool faster if it's in a thin layer. Okay? So, as you can see, I want it to be in a thin layer, so hurry up and cool so I can handle it. Okay? So now that it's already solidifying and it's still warm to the touch, but it's not hot, we can start manipulating it. Okay? You don't want it to completely dry. Okay. Okay. So now that we have it all off of here, we can start breaking it down. So one of the things that you do not want to do is add your oil while it's cooking in the pot, okay? That heat is going to evaporate the oil properties. You don't want that. So now that it's not boiling or it's not super hot, we can add our oil. I'm only going to add a little bit because obviously we don't want to add too much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't matter, you can add however much, but I'm not going to do that. So now I'm going to start putting this together, and it is kind of hot still, but not to where I can't mess with it. Okay. Okay, so the reason why I put the oil in here right now is because I want it all over the wax. I'm going to put some of my powder mix, just 1 little scoop of Santa Muerte powder. All right, and I'm going to mix it up. Okay, mix it up. This is why I put the spray on, because it's so much easier to deal with this wax. Okay, so just keep mixing it all up. You want everything mixed, okay, as much as you can, as fast as you can, because this will dry and it'll start hardening, okay? It'll start hardening. All right. So I think I have it pretty much mixed. As you can see, it's pretty good. So now we're going to mold it. Now, I am not an artist and a clay sculptor or none of that shit, but let's see how it comes out. They're never going to come out the same unless you're good at this, okay? So another thing, I am in front of my Santa Muerte. She's right here in front of me. She watches everything I do because she's my witness that I am doing this work with the intended purpose that I put in here. I am manifesting my own energy, okay? So let's see how we're gonna do this. Let's get the little head going. Let's get some arms going. Let's get the body going. How are we gonna do the legs? Here we go. So let's get some legs going. Okay. Don't judge. Get some arms. I'm gonna make them. Oh, my head. So here's my head. Here's my arms. Move it, pick it up off of here because you don't want it stuck to the bottom, okay? You do not want it to stick. Check the back. as she's gonna get. So now I'm gonna make a little indentation. Very small indentation here. In her arms. And legs. Why? Oops. Her other leg. Because I am going to fill this cavity up with herbs. Okay? And okay, this cavity is going to be with herbs. So she's already got the protection around her because, or I have my protection around me because I use my Santa Muerte oil and I use my Santa Muerte powder. That is going to encompass the whole outside of the aura or the bubble of my doll. Okay? Now, the protection of my insides. So, you know, I want to be protected from anybody doing anything evil to me, like my health or my mind. Anything that has to do with internal, okay? So I am going to, oh, my hands are so waxy, but it's okay. So I am going to slowly pour my mixtures in here. Don't put too much, just enough. Okay? Doesn't have to be a lot. This one has a mixture of herbs. You put whatever you want. Okay? Whatever you want. But don't take your time, because this will dry up. Okay, now put my sage in here. My sage stick. Okay. I just happen to have 2 sticks, so that's too big. Okay. So that's done. Now we're going to seal it, okay? Seal it. This is why you have to hurry, because you don't want for this to dry and you haven't sealed it. And if it dries before you can seal it, you're going to have to melt some more wax and pour it on top, which that's on you, but I don't want to. Okay, so I am sealing my doll. These fell out, but they're eyeballs. Okay, so now I want to pick her up again carefully, because now she's sticking to my pan. And I don't want her to. check her back. All right. So she's good. You can continue molding if you want to, because now it doesn't matter if she's drying, and now you can do all your fancy Picasso work if you want. Okay. So I don't know. Put her little dress. So you could tell it's a girl. Give her a little shape. Yeah, it don't matter. Nobody's gonna look at it but me. And I know my intentions in here is for protection. I want myself, my body, my mind, my home, my family. Any protection from evil hexes, evil eye, evil words, anything that's done in front or behind my back. Okay, because the first thing I do is try to protect myself. Somebody wants to come for me, I will gladly return the favor. Okay, but I don't want to do that. I ain't got time for that, and it takes a lot of energy for that. So let me just, and she's back the way she was. All right, well, whatever. Let me just, whatever. So now you can dress her up if you want to. Do whatever you want. So here's what she looks like. Okay, she's not gonna be pretty. None of these dolls are gonna be pretty. And the thing is like, a lot of people try to make the dolls pretty. They use molds. They use like figure molds and all that stuff to do all this wacky ass hex work. And the thing is that you're gonna throw them away. Why are you gonna put so much energy into a hex doll or make it look cute when it's a hex? I mean, isn't the point to get away from them and to, you know, block that energy? Why put so much energy into a hex doll? To make it look nice, to make it whatever. Now, if you want your own hex doll to look nice, well then, you know, I mean, you're supposed to be cute, right? So this is where you put your energy. Not in hex dolls, you know, any kind of witchcraft that you're trying to send back to people. La brujeria no es bonita. So, ¿por qué va a estar bonito tu monito, eh? So, that's just my thought. I don't waste time making anything pretty when it's going to be taken apart anyways. It's going to be ruined anyways. And, you know, the energy that you're putting into, remember, you're manifesting the energies that you're putting into your work. Why put good energy by making it look cute for someone you get hex? Okay? So, sorry for the movement of my camera. I mean, I have it on a little clip-on thing on these little side tables. Okay? So, there she is. Here I am. I'm cute. Little gingerbread looking thing. Okay? But this is Mamita. I am presenting her to you. This is a representation of me. And Mamita, I put the herbs, I put your oil, and I put your powder so you can protect me. The powder and the oil is circumferring the whole doll because this is represents me as a whole. Please protect me from all evil eye, from all brujeria, from all malhechizos. Anything that comes my way, mommy, block it out, send it back, do what you gotta do, mama. You're the justice and the law. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Any questions, let me know. And you know what? If you do make them, let me see what you've done. Make sure that your work of art looks better than mine, okay? Because, you know, well, it is what it is. I want to give her like a little hula hoop and put some little skates so she can skate through life. No, I'm just kidding. Bye!